Former Clinton official said Elon Musk's vision for the internet is dangerous nonsense. I mean, these people are fascists. They hate that you have a voice. They want to stifle your voice. That's what all this censorship is about. Is so you can't communicate your ideas. You can only listen to their ideas. Well, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link in the description. It has a link to my link tree where I have I'm sorry, my sinuses are getting to me today, y'all. But check out my link tree where I have a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. Also has a link to my merch store where I have Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, I Will Not Comply t-shirts, all types of t-shirts. I also have a link to my mental health coaching and consultation page where you can book a session if you have issues dealing with with mental health, anxiety, depression, and things of that sort. I can teach you how to deal with that and teach you different type of coping skills and things. All right, let's talk about this news. Robert Wright, a Berkeley professor who formerly served as Secretary of Labor under the Clinton administration, argued on Tuesday that Elon Musk's vision for Twitter is dangerous nonsense. I mean, this is so upsetting. It's things like this when people try to tell me that I can't express myself. It really makes me mad, because who are you to tell me what I can and can't say? You know, these people are horrible. They hate that you have a voice, like I said earlier, and they're trying to stifle it. But Elon Musk recently became Twitter's largest shareholder following the purchase of a 9.2% stake in the social media firm. He has promised to make significant improvements to Twitter and has polled his followers on whether or not Twitter rigorously adheres to the principles of free speech. In an opinion piece for The Guardian, however, Wright asserted that Musk's takeover is just about power. Of course, he would think that, because someone that worked for an administration that's all about the power. But, quote, years ago, pundits assumed that the internet would open a new era of democracy, giving everyone access to the truth, to your truth. He wants you to have access to your truth, to his truth, not the truth. But he goes on to say, but dictators like Putin and demagogues like Trump have demonstrated how naive that assumption was. He began, calling Trump's removal from all major social media platforms necessary to protect American democracy. Whatever, man. And we're not a democracy anyway. We're a republic. But I'm not going to get into that. Wright then slammed Musk for selling his 80 million followers. For telling his 80 million followers reckless things, such as the notion that children are essentially immune from, the stupid 19, and his favorite cryptocurrencies, and blocking him on Twitter. I mean, he has a right to say what he wants to say. I mean, who are you to tell someone what they can't say, right? Who are you? Quote, Musk advocates for free speech, but in reality, it's just about power, Wright said. Oh, so now see how they play these word games? Free speech is now power. So me letting you say whatever you want to say is about power. Come on, man. That's crazy. Sorry, just messaging my wife back about something important. But back to the story here. Sorry. He goes on to say that Musk advocates for free speech, but in reality it's about power. I said that. Power compelled Musk to buy $2.64 billion in Twitter stock, making him the largest individual shareholder. What improvements does Musk have in mind for Twitter? Will he use his clout over Twitter to prevent users with tens of millions of followers from blocking people who criticize them? I doubt it. This dude is a nut. Circling back to President Donald Trump, right, Gamon, will Musk use his clout to let Trump back? I fear he will. So, I mean, what's wrong with that? Why are you stifling people ideas? Again, listing Musk's various controversies spurred by the use of his Twitter account, including his toying with the idea of taking Tesla private and his run-ins with journalists. Wright argued that Musk's vision for an uncontrolled internet will lead to an increase in Musk's own power. What a hater! What a hater! So freedom amounts to power. That's what it's really about. These people have it so backwards. Quote, Musk says he wants to free the internet, but what he really aims to do is make it even less accountable than it is now, when it's often impossible to discover who's making the decisions about how algorithms are designed, who is filling social media with lies, who's poisoning the minds of our pseudoscience and propaganda, and who's deciding which versions of events go viral and which stays under wraps. That's rich. That's rich, right? That you say that, because we know how your Clinton machine goes about spreading propaganda and lies and all, and their ties with the social media giants, and how the social media giants protect the Clintons. So that's rich coming from you. Quote, in Musk's vision of Twitter and the internet, he'd be the wizard behind the curtain, projecting on the world screen a fake image of a brave new world empowering everyone, Rich continued. In reality, that world would be dominated by the richest and most powerful people in the world, who would be accountable to anyone for facts, who wouldn't be accountable to anyone for facts, truth, science, or the common good. Are you kidding me? That's exactly what we have now. We have these rich oligarchs and these technocrats that own these companies and curtail people's speech. You're speaking about what's happening now. And what Musk is trying to do is trying to take the power away from them and give it back to the people. We are to decide what we believe is true. We can do our own research. We don't need some social media giant to tell us what's true and what's not. But quote, that's Musk's dream, and Trump's and Putin's right concluded, and the dream of every dictator, strongman, demagogue, and modern-day robber baron on Earth. For the rest of us, it would be a brave new nightmare. I mean, this is funny that he's saying this, because I mean, it's just crazy how this doublespeak is working. So he's saying that freedom, that having the freedom to decide what you looking at, what you believe, that's in some way it's the opposite. Like, I don't, this fascinates me. Either he's lying and he knows he's lying about this stuff, or he is a totally clueless leftist professor. I don't know which one it is. I'll let y'all decide. But leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.